And now we are in the kitchen this Monday with Brandy Smith from Sophisticakes by Brandy. She's a cake artist, and you're featured on the competitive baking series, The Next Great Baker, and that's going to premiere for a fourth season tomorrow night. Yes. What do you have for us this morning? Looks like it's very sweet.
It is. It's a great summertime dessert. It's a roasted balsamic strawberry cupcake. And it's something that everyone at home will be able to follow along and be able to make for their friends and family this summer.
I love that. Balsamic. You wouldn't think about something you're adding into your cupcakes,
Right.
But you're going to tell us why it works, and I guess I'll get a taste
Absolutely.
a little later. And you're local. You're from here.
Yes, from Virginia Beach.
All right, so we're happy to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Sophisticakes, we've got Brandy Smith, and we'll get started and talk about this big premiere in just a moment. All right, we're back in the kitchen with Brandy Smith from Sophisticakes by Brandy. She's a cake artist featured on the competitive baking series, The Next Great Baker, and that's going to premiere for a fourth season tomorrow night. Brandy's cooking up some very sweet treats over here, and this is actually something that people can watch you on the show bake up.
Sure. This is a recipe that we featured on the show. It's a strawberry cupcake, but it's a roasted strawberry cupcake. And it also has a balsamic vinegar dressing that goes on it. So it has a little savory gourmet twist to it. And it's something that's great for this time of year because we have all of those wonderful fresh strawberries available to us.
Okay, so let's get started. Now you say roasted strawberries. I don't normally think about roasting.
Well, that's
my
what we're going to do first off. We're going to go ahead and roast them. And you're going to want to wash your strawberries first. And then we're just going to cap them. And then we're just going to do like a little bit of a rough chop. And you don't have to be too concerned about exactly the size that you cut them because they're going to break down a little bit. And once they roast, they'll become much more soft.
Okay.
So we're going to put them all together. Then we're going to add our secret ingredient to this recipe, which is our balsamic.
And you were explaining, I mean, at first, you know, when I at first mentioned, I thought balsamic, who would think about putting balsamic into a cupcake?
I know. A lot of times you'll see it in salads, but a lot of people don't realize that a sweet treat like a cupcake, if you put something a little savory with it, it just really sets it off on the palate.
Okay, so this can help the flavor pop.
Yeah, it really does. And this is something that's going to taste great, but it also looks great on the plate too because you can get a little fancy with it without having to be really fancy.
All right, so we just added in some
We have
sugar?
We did sugar, and that was 2 tablespoons of sugar, along with 1 tablespoon of the balsamic vinegar. And we're just going to mix this up, and then we're going to just spread it on a sheet pan.
Now, how long have you been baking?
I have been baking for about 5 years. I was first and foremost an artist, and did really different forms of art. I love to sculpt. And then I had children, so I started making their birthday cakes, and of course I couldn't just do, you know, a round flat cake on a plate. I had to do something more fun, so we started doing sculpted kind of fun things, and it caught on. Everybody started seeing the cakes and wanted
to bake one.
Yeah, so it kind of, the business grew. I have my children to thank for that.
Wow.
So we're going to put this, our strawberries, along with our vinegar and our sugar.
Okay.
We're going to put it in a preheated 300-degree oven. So we'll get those going.
So we're roasting. Now we're roasting the strawberries. And what's the next step?
And then we're going to start on our batter. So what we're going to do first with our batter is we're going to cream 2 sticks of butter along with 1/2 cup of shortening. So we'll get this going.
And so you're located out in Virginia Beach, you were saying?
Yes, we are web-based right now and going to be opening up a storefront soon. You can find us at www.sophisticakesbybrandy.com and also on Facebook /Sophisticakes by Brandy. So we have
lots of butter in there.
Yes, 2 sticks of butter. Everybody
and then
loves
now we're
the butter.
adding
And this is our shortening. So we're
shortening.
going to add this. And then we're going to go ahead and just cream this really fast. And then after we get this creamed, we're going to go ahead and add our sugar. This is 3 cups of sugar.
Add in the sugar, lots of sweet stuff going on. Now, is this balsamic strawberry cupcakes, is this a Brandy original?
It is something that my partner, when I competed on the show, I partnered with another local cake artist named Ginger Suave. She's a wonderful cake artist and teacher here in Virginia
I'm Brandy
Beach.
Smith,
and we kind of formulated this as our hometown
baker.
recipe.
I have a
because,
business
of course,
that I run out
in
of my
Virginia
kitchen.
Beach, we
I am a cake
have
decorator.
the Strawberry Festival, and we have great produce.
So it's
around.
a nice collaboration.
Exactly.
Cool.
So we have our sugar along with our creamed butter and shortening. We're going to add our strawberries. This is going to be about 3/4 of a cup of strawberries.
Mix
Go ahead
that
and
up.
get this going. And once this is well and incorporated, we're going to start adding our flour. This is 3 cups of flour. Turn that down a little bit.
So as it's mixing, you just put in the flour.
You put in the flour, and we're going to kind of rotate between the flour and the eggs. You don't want to dump it all in at once. Just do 1 or 2 at a time so that we get a nice, even consistency.
Okay, Brandy. Well, we'll be back to check on how the cupcakes are doing and looking good so far. Again, Brandy's featured in the season 4 premiere of The Next Great Baker on TLC. She's a cake artist, Sophisticakes by Brandy, and we will be checking in on these cupcakes a little bit later.
All right.
We're in the kitchen with Brandy. She does have cupcakes. Brandy Smith from Sophisticakes by Brandy. She's a cake artist featured on the competitive baking series, The Next Great Baker. That's going to premiere for a 4th season tomorrow night. And she's here today making roasted balsamic strawberry cupcakes. These will be featured on the show. It's something that you made on the show.
Yes.
And so last time we were mixing up the rest of the batter. So
Yes.
this time around we're making some icing.
Yes, we're going to do our icing now, and we're going to start with a stick of butter. And we'll pop that right in.
Lots of butter. Butter makes it work.
It does. Butter is good. And we are going to add some fresh chopped strawberries. These aren't the roasted.
Okay,
These are
and no
just the
balsamic.
Nope, no balsamic. And we're just going to mix these two until they're pretty well incorporated.
And so your show is going to debut tomorrow. Yes. And what was it like being on this show? Baking on the show. It's your first experience being on a TV show like that, basically.
It was, and it's a competition show, so there's a lot of drama and excitement, and they've changed things up this year. It's going to be an amazing show, so you'll have to tune in tomorrow on TLC at 9 p.m.
Were you a fan of the show?
I had seen Buddy the Cake Boss. I had seen his show, and I had not seen The Next Great Baker before I was asked to apply for it. So I had to do my homework, and I ended up loving it. Now I'm a huge fan, and I'm excited for people to see this season. They've changed things up, and it's going to be really interesting.
Right, and you've got a lot of powdered sugar there. So what are we doing with that?
This is our next step, and what we're going to do is we're going to just gradually add this powdered sugar to our mixture here until it's well incorporated. And I have 2 pounds of powdered sugar right here. And you can add as much of it as you'd like according to your taste and how you want the consistency of your frosting to be.
Okay, so more powdered sugar is going to make it a little thicker?
A little stiffer, a little thicker. And so let's go ahead and grab our cupcakes out of the oven.
All right, and you know, I was telling Brandy that my kid's birthday is coming up, and I'm like, maybe I can make the cupcakes by myself, but I'm scared that they won't look pretty because if I don't get the icing just right. I mean, is there a trick to it? I know you said you started baking sweets because you had kids. And
yes.
You made it fun. Oh, look at the little cupcake wrappers with like animal print. Look at that.
We had to do some funky little prints here this morning.
So what's the trick to getting the icing just right? So you can make your own, or I guess you can use store-bought if you want to.
You can make your own, and it's so simple. And some people are intimidated by baking and decorating.
Because people get so fancy these days.
Yeah, but really, I'm going to show you.
Okay, show me the way, Brandy.
I will. It's just a little simple swirl, and a little swirl goes a long way. So we're just pressing, giving anything.
Okay, so you start on the outside.
Yep, you work your way around and come on up.
Okay, and so can you control the, okay, I'm going to take a try this.
You just squeeze, and that controls your pressure and how fast it comes out.
How am I doing? Ooh.
You're doing great.
It's not as pretty as yours. Okay, let me try one more time.
Do it.
Maybe I need to give it a little more squeeze at the top. Okay, that's
That
a little
is
better.
an awesome
you know,
job.
I mean,
awesome
what we need is a cake topper to cover it.
Well,
but
we have that actually, because we've done our sauce, which we've put in our batter to flavor our cake, but we can also go over top and just drizzle some of this balsamic.
Yeah, so what's the trick? I mean, obviously you want a moist cake, you want it to taste good,
Sure.
and you want it to look pretty. So how, how can you make your cupcakes look pretty every time?
You know, I think everybody has their own individual style, and I think your kids will be thrilled that mom made their cupcakes, and it really isn't that hard, you know. And if you don't have a bag and a tip like this, you can pack it in a zip top bag and snip one corner.
And just
it really
make your
is
own.
it's not tough.
All right. Okay, Brandy. Well, again, Brandy, she's on the Next Great Baker, and it's featuring her. It debuts tomorrow, and she's having a premiere party. It's at 7:30 p.m. You can come down. You can actually try these cupcakes. It'll be catered as well, right?
Yes.
And that's at the Bridge Church on 3168 Indian River Road in Virginia Beach. And you can also find out more about Brandy. And if you want to order some of her great treats, Sophisticakes by Brandy.com. Thanks so much for being here. I can't wait to try.
Thank you.
I'm inspired.